Drum roll, drum roll, drum roll, and right. So, second attempt at this whole live streaming malarkey. Still not 100% sure if I actually look like I'm moving or talking at the other end. And it might be like a kind of a weird looking at myself, looping back thing. So, what I might need to do is just maybe send some messages out and see if anyone else can see that I'm moving, which is weird. This just still seems so like weirdly chunky and all bobbly. Let's see then what we can do. So Matty Grant, thanks. Do something, my performing monkey. That's the only comment so far. Well, look, mate, this might be how we all have to communicate with each other in the near future, because we might all get quarantined. So I'm making my little home office here, all lovely, and getting all ready to be quarantined. Not that I'm quarantined yet. I have got my rather fashionable Plague Doctor t-shirt on in full coronavirus mode. But I love working from home. I get to work from home quite a bit. I'm very lucky. So I work from home quite a lot, and I really like it, and it works really well for me. So I do have a lovely little man cave / office here at home, and that's fab, and that works for me. The question is now... Oh, hello, this is someone else's live stream that I can now hear playing on my live stream. This is so weird. I've never done this before, so this is desperately experimental, really. Oh, I am moving. Now, if I look over there, I can kind of see myself on a weird time lapse. I'm doing this at the moment, and I'm probably about to talk about my lovely shirt again. Right, okay, so I am now simulcasting. It is working. Marvellous. Okay, so... what was I going to talk about? Well, I just thought I would actually, if I could get this to work. First of all, I'll talk about simulcasting, which... so simulcasting is when you broadcast a live stream across multiple different environments all at the same time. So at the moment, I'm simulcasting onto Facebook and onto my YouTube channel. I found a really easy way to do this. I use OBS Studio for recording my videos. And then there's a streaming option in that, and I'm using a platform called restream.io, and restream.io basically accepts your stream in, and then it broadcasts that stream out to all of the different partner channels that exist on there. So if that's working, thumbs up, then I'm simultaneously on YouTube and on Facebook. I'll maybe go and have a cheeky look at my own Facebook channel now, sorry, my own YouTube channel, and see if I am. Yep, second attempt at simulcast. There it is. And there I am. It's working. My goodness, right? It works. That's rather fast. Oh, you can hear me typing as well. Marvelous. That's my absolutely lovely keyboard. I'm pretty obsessed by mechanical keyboards. It makes me quite unpopular, I think, when I'm not in my home office, but in my regular office. But I am a big fan of the Cherry MX Blue key. It's great if you have to write long documents, which I often do. It's great for programming. It's great for everything. Cherry MX Blue. It is the future. Cool. Okay. So simulcasting is definitely a useful technique if you want to be able to get your message out across multiple platforms at the same time. And getting a message out across platforms is one of the things I wanted to talk about. I'm involved in a really cool book promotion today, and you'll be able to find that on my feed. I'll see if I can magically make a link appear on here in a minute. I'm not quite sure how to do that either. This is very unplanned. This isn't the whole idea, is try and do something, raw and lo-fi for the kids. Because I'm obviously a deeply cool person, and I'm also in a room talking to myself, so that's absolutely fine. But yes, so there's been a really interesting development. A lot of things, obviously we can only all consume so much news in any one day, and so a lot of things tend to fly under the radar. And one of the things that's flying quite low under the radar at the moment is the House of Lords putting Google under scrutiny, really, and holding a match to the soles of their feet to try and find out just how they do what they do and what goes on. And so the House of Lords have had Vint Cerf, who is definitely worth googling. He's one of the sort of fathers of the internet, really, or grandfathers of the internet, I suppose, as we know it today, who works at Google, and they've had him in to talk about how does Google work. And obviously someone who works with search engine optimization and writes books about search engine optimization, I'm really interested to see how Vint Cerf described it. And essentially what the House of Lords were asking was, can we have visibility of how Google works? Can we see the algorithm, please? Can we know how you decide if I type in how to boil an egg, or you know, what pressure should my car tyre be, or what's the best restaurant in Stoke? How does Google work this out? How does it create its answer? And I think Vint Cerf gave actually a really great answer, not in terms of really answering the question necessarily, but in terms of explaining the difference between a traditional algorithm, which works almost like a recipe, sort of do this, do that. If it starts to burn, do this. If it is not burning, do the following. And a neural network, which is how search engines work today. And I'm going to pull this up because I don't want to get this quote wrong, because it is really good. And how he described it was, it's a complex interconnection of weights that take input in and pop something out to tell us, you know, what quality a particular web page is. So he essentially, what he's saying is, you wouldn't be able to really understand how it's making its decisions and how it weights things. So neural networks are something that I would by no means claim to be an expert on, but I know a little bit about them. And essentially, you tend to train them by giving them lots of good data and then giving them some bad data and helping them to understand the difference between one and the other. And then once you've done that, what you get, I've got two little thumbs. It's Josh, hello. Oh, and my sister. Yeah, hi Stace. Moving on. So yes. So with a neural network, it's trained. So what Google have behind the scenes are apparently approximately 10,000 of these search quality raters, and their job is to look at websites as human beings and say whether they are quality or not, if they are good or not. And it's actually these 10,000 people, their input, their opinions, that go into the neural net. And they're given a set of guidelines. Those guidelines are openly published, but that's essentially what Vint Cerf is saying, you know, is the process, and that's how it works. So when you're working in search engine optimization, essentially a huge amount of what you do is to work with the algorithm from the outside. So essentially, we are popping data in to that system, and then we are trying to see how does that work when it comes back out. So if I change something on my website, can I make it move up the ranking? So effectively, we don't know what the weights are, and we don't know how things are weighted, but by changing one thing at a time, in a sort of an empirical sense, we can try to derive what might be good and what might be bad. Unfortunately, what makes it incredibly difficult is that there are thousands of other people doing that thing at the same time. So it's a bit like all shouting out the answer at the same time, and then trying to gauge whether or not Google thinks that you've given the right answer or not. So experimentation becomes very, very difficult. What some vendors do, what some people try to do, is they will look at lots of other websites. So they will scan a couple of hundred websites, a couple of thousand websites that are ranking well for a particular search term, and then compare them. That's another way that you can do it. But the classic response to these things, I keep meaning to make a flowchart of how this works. The classic response that Google always give, if you ask them a straight question of, does X affect ranking? They always say no. It's never yes. They never say, oh yeah, that does. It's always no, unless it's a very nebulous thing. The more nebulous and difficult to measure the thing is, then the more likely they are to say, yes. Yes, you will recognise that cushion, Louise. You gave me that cushion. It's very nice, thank you. I'm getting the hang of this now. I have to watch when people have sent me some messages. So yes, that's Stacey. Yes, that's hi Neil. That's yes. This is definitely experimental, Neil. So don't judge me. But yes, we. So this is the great difficulty really. But if you're not working in search engine optimization, hello Jen. If you're not working in search engine optimization, it's still really important, because right now, obviously, coronavirus. The whole reason I thought I'll dust off the webcam and practice and make sure that I'm in a sensible place in case I have to trap myself in my home office for a long time. The important thing is these guidelines and these 10,000 people affect what you see on the internet. So if you go onto the internet today and you type in coronavirus, for example, what will happen actually is something really, really interesting, because Google have actually changed their search engines a little bit. In response to the vast amount of misinformation that was being pumped out about coronavirus, they give a very, very specialised search result which directly takes you into NHS help information. I will see if I can actually manage to show this to you now. Though this will be very advanced. If I can do this, bear with me. Let's give it a try. I've probably all gone black now for a minute. There we go. Look at this. Wizardry of the highest order. So, okay, let's pop that over there for a tick. Whew, look at that. Marvellous. Now, I'll shove over a bit and then we can have a proper look. So, this is just a straight Google search for coronavirus. And really, really interestingly, here we've got the SOS alert. And then as we come down, we've got some news, which is normal in search. But then actually, we've got links and information being taken from curated websites. Yeah, websites that Google have almost seemingly manually selected to be at the top to ensure that people are getting quality information and not information from a variety of potentially otherwise dubious sources. Google have also changed the rules on advertising, so you can't advertise coronavirus cures or anything like that. Now that's been done manually, so that's a positive thing. That's good, yay. But it actually makes you realise that a huge amount of what goes on with the search engines is still in fact manual. Although the system is automated, it operates based on what it's been taught or told by the search engine quality rankers, by these human beings. So it's quite an important thing, I think, for anyone who uses a search engine on a regular basis to get information, to find information. It is quite important to understand that what you're seeing is chosen by other people. It's chosen by the search engine. It's not maybe as faceless and emotionless as you might think. Oh yeah, Dave Fawcett. Hi Chris, it's been a while. I saw you in the office today, Dave. I saw you today. I won't see you tomorrow, but I'll see you on Friday, and we'll discuss this interaction then. So yes, that's my one bit of important news for the day on kind of the work side, the technical side, and that's, I think, one of the two sort of big things that are coming out of this now. Obviously, huge amount of talk in the tech space now about home working. Are we ready to work from home? Can everybody work from home? To say, the nature of my job means that I'm pretty well set up for working from home, and I have the knack. I've got all the kit to do that, which is good, and hopefully I'll be able to keep up my videos and whatnot from home as well, if I have to do that. Obviously, not all jobs are able to do that, and I'm sure there are some businesses out there that are now trying to get stuff into place. So I'll probably get a blog up sooner rather than later with some recommendations of some good tools for working from home and what works quite well. But yes, the main reason I wanted to come on today, there is a really, really good book deal. See, I was selling something all along. I was just shilling a book deal because I'm a shameless shiller. I shall pull this up for you now. There are a lady called Chloe Thomas, who I've known for quite a long time. She's absolutely brilliant e-commerce and digital marketing consultant. She's a bit of a genius and a guru, really. Chloe has a podcast called E-commerce Master Plan, and she interviews people from all over the industry about different things related to e-commerce, obviously. And she invited me on to the podcast a little while ago to talk about the truth about SEO, my book, and she runs, I should say, a regular sort of promotion where a whole bunch of people reduce the prices of their books right down to 99p or 99 cents, and you get the opportunity to acquire those books really, really cheaply. So if my magical window capture is going to work for me again, yay, there it is. So this is at bookgiveaway.projects.webpages.1. I'll try and magically get that link to appear in a minute. Let's see if I can put it up as a comment. Give that a try, maybe. Yes, I've done it. Marvellous. That's me doing it. That's weird. I've incepted myself. That's terrifying. There's a whole range of amazing books. I've gone through this today and I've bought every book that I don't. I can't get that right. I've bought every book that I don't have. Some of them I did already have, to be fair. There are some new ones here. If you saw the promotion when we ran it last year, there are some new ones this year, and there are some absolutely fantastic books in here. I think it's about 16 altogether. So 6, 9, 12, 15, yeah, 16 books altogether. So basically, for less than £16, you can pick up a year's worth of reading easily. And if you are interested in any of this stuff, if you've got a business-to-business website, if you're interested in commerce, you're interested in becoming an influencer, you want to learn more about digital marketing, anyone who's got their own home business or uses marketing in work, or is a marketer, or their job is marketing, there's just so much good stuff in here. And then there's my one, but you may as well get the full 16. To be fair, it would feel weird to buy 15 books as opposed to 16. 15 being actually quite a nice sort of roundish number, but it's an odd number. So bear that in mind. Right, okie dokes. So we've talked about search engine optimization. That's the dull. That's the day job. Got to talk about that. We've talked about Vintsurf, and we've had some nice conspiracy theories about Google. Done that. Shilled this book. Done that. And I kind of feel like I've done quite a half decent live stream now. But it wouldn't be fair if I didn't also sneak in a couple of additional mentions, and I'll probably stop talking, which will be a novel experience for anyone who knows me. If you do know about any of my writing, you know I'm currently working on a new book for the Lethbridge Stewart range for Candy Jar, which is really exciting. That's going on at the moment. I'm about halfway through what I consider to be my final edit before I'll pass it off to Andy, who's the range editor, who will then do his edit, and we'll start the back and forth process of getting the book finished. It is a Lethbridge Stewart book, so it's set in the Hainsman universe, which is a spin-off part from Doctor Who. My last Lucy Wilson book, we was very excited because it said "From the World of Doctor Who" on the back, and it was huge for me. I was very excited about that. So yes, what am I allowed to say about it? It is a dystopian sort of thing. I have the opportunity to create lots of new monsters and aliens for it. I also got to bring back the clowns from Curse of the Mirror Clowns, which is really good. And I've got a new particular clown who's very good, I think, and a Yeti. If you're familiar with the Yeti from classic Doctor Who, and we've got a group of aliens called the Krug, who are pretty interesting, and then the Wolpertinger, who are based on a German myth, but they're kind of really cool as well, or at least I think so. I guess we'll find out how cool they are when people read the book. So yes, I'm about halfway through my editing past, trying to stitch all these things together. It's really interesting because the Lethbridge Stewart universe is so rich now and diverse and well formed. Andy asked me for a sort of a quote to talk about for the blurb. I said it's a bit like somebody giving you this elaborate and brilliant and perfect kind of grandfather clock and saying, "Oh, can you just like stick an extra arm in there, or do you mind, just winding it a bit and doing this?" And you sort of look at it and you sort of almost consumed by this sort of mortal terror of the thing, that it's just so many interconnecting pieces that work correctly, and you kind of think, if I jam my finger in that, is it just going to and just all fall apart? But Andy, in a moment of utter genius, I think, sort of tucked me away in a way that meant I could go completely bonkers and really do anything I wanted to do, and still have that be canon, still have it be a piece of continuity. So it's not kind of it all gets retconned at the end, it all goes back to status quo like the end of the episode of The Simpsons or something. But it gave me a freedom that I didn't have to suddenly gain an encyclopedic knowledge of everything ever, which Andy seems to have. Andy seems to be able to sort of tell you not only like the episode of a particular, an episode of Doctor Who or an audio drama or a book. He seems to be able to go down to the minute and the second that it actually happened, which is amazing and also somewhat terrifying if you don't have that particular skill. So the cover has been released for this. I'll see if I can pull this up for you as well. So this is the, fab. So this is what the front cover is going to look like. It's called the George Costanen Mystery. You see it's from the classic era of Doctor Who, right there on the front cover. Lethbridge Stewart Bloodlines. This follows on from the book that Andy and Tim have done, An Ordinary Man. And so you can see there some of the stuff that happens in the book. I won't tell you what any of those things are. I might want to do any sort of spoilers or anything like that, because Andy and Sean will probably, I don't know, kill me in my bed or something if I do that. But yes, so that's the main thing I've got going on at the moment. There's also quite a lot of exciting things happening with Off-World, although Terry's far more qualified to talk about those, so I'll leave that for him. And yes, so just tons and tons and tons going on at the moment, which is really exciting. So I'm going to say a huge thank you to anyone who's actually put up with this live stream for the duration. Have I mastered the apostrophe? Oh, right. No, Louise, I have not mastered the apostrophe, nor will I, quite frankly, nor will I. I will continue to abuse the apostrophe as much as humanly possible. This is my friend Louise, who is actually just not only really brilliant at writing, but also like actually really good at things like grammar and spelling the word consciousness, which I can't do. There are actually many words I don't spell properly. So no, Louise, I have not mastered the apostrophe, nor will I until you teach me how to. So that's what we'll do. That's what we'll say about that. Have I mastered the apostrophe? No, it's even haunting my dreams. That's apostrophe. No, I haven't mastered the apostrophe. Right, yes, I think that is signing off time. I will pop a blog up onto the website with some instructions on how to set up Restream.io. It wasn't totally seamless, I have to be fair. The first time I did it, that's why it says second attempt at a simulcast up at the top there, not first, because the first one was a horror and didn't work. So yes, I will pop that up into there. And yeah, if anyone's got any questions or anything like that, then let me know. Other questions like master the apostrophe, then let me know, and hopefully I will now try to do sort of more regular thing. Yes, OBS for streaming lifetime. Yeah, that is what I'm using, Neil. It is OBS. It works. That is how I'm doing it. So that's fab. Right. Yes. Signing off time. Thank you. I think. Yeah. Well, no, definitely. I think thank you. I just don't know how to sign it off. So yes, thank you. Bye.